Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is section number 4 of one of the listening exams, and this specific test, which is in front of you, this test type question 4, which is known as summary sentence completion question, is or will be the part of all examinations as per the Cambridge announcement, which will be taken in 2025 from 1st March onward. 1st March onward के बाद लिस्टिंग में जो भी लोग एग्जाम सेक्शन नंबर 4 10 स्ट्रेट क्वेश्चंस का मोनोलॉग पैटर्न सिंगल वॉइस पर एग्जाम होगा and that single voice monologue pattern will be a summary completion of 110 questions and is I'm sorry. So all 10 questions will belong to all 10 questions will belong to the same all 10 questions will belong to the same topic and no new topic will be given and one single voice will be played. There will be no breakage in between and in this way we will be completing the whole exam. Remember, when we talk about section number 4 questions, what you have to do, आपने किसी चीज को irrelevant नहीं समझना है. मिसाल के तौर पर मैं फर्ज करता हूँ फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट्स पढ़िए 2 क्वेश्चन आंसर इज रिक्वायर्ड हियर इज अर्बन लैंडस्केप अपनी पेंसिल को अर्बन लैंडस्केप पे रखिए जैसे ही अर्बन लैंडस्केप का वर्ड सुने कम डाउन द इफेक्ट ऑफ वेजिटेशन ऑन द अर्बन क्लाइमेट वेजिटेशन इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड अपनी पेंसिल को स्किड करके नीचे ले आइए एंड वेजिटेशन पे रखिए जब आप एग्जाम दे रहे होंगे और कंप्यूटर पर तो आप पेंसिल को तो स्किड नहीं कर सकते व्हाट विल यू डू You will place your mouse on this one. Mouse will work as a pattern of your pencil in your computerized exam, and this will become more easy. So now, once you listen to the word vegetation, come down. Ways of planning hour पर अपना mouse रखिए pencil, and then mark your answer here. Once you mark the answer, quickly come down and put your pencil on impacts of trees. Once you are done with the impact of trees word, सुनते जाएं नीचे आ जाएं. The cities can make cities more or less. Cities more or less पे अपना pencil रखें. Once answer, come down to inland cities more. Once you answer, slip yourself down to impact of trees. Listen the word impact of trees, come down to the local area. Listen to the word local area, come down to the word more. अपनी पेंसिल को उठाना और रखना भी एक पूरा फेल है. When I did my IELTS exam, I did not move the pencil. Whenever I give my test of IELTS, whenever I practice by myself with the new books, whenever I perform my task, I do not lift the pencil up for the reason that if we lift up the pencil and reposition that pencil, it takes 1 second, and that 1 second is even very important in listening exam, where along with the listening, you are having only about 40 minutes to answer one single question. सुनना समझना आंसर करना is not easy.
Sorry,
काम करते हुए you should be more vigilant.
ये तो यहाँ पे नहीं.
So now, when you are done with the answer of more, bring your pencil down to less windy. I do not lift my pencil. You people should not lift it as well. I drag my mouse to the next word. Please drag your mouse to the next word. And once you listen to the word windy, just get ready to answer. Less, what is the less one answer? Place your pencil on trees and buildings. When it says comparing tree and building, bring your pencil down to temperature. When you listen to temperature, bring the pencil down. Please evaporate water through there. Evaporate water. And then there को कभी miss नहीं करेगा. मैंने आपको बताया है कि examiner never misses 1 or 2 words which are very adjacent to the blank. Okay. So now, building surface, leave it. So now, place the pencil on the wind force. I'm not working on the finger now. I'm working only on the pencil because there are very small sentences. You cannot place finger and pencil together. So now, eyes and pencil will work. So tall buildings have more wind. So tall buildings, your eyes, and more wind, your pencil. Trees, pencil, wind force. Trees, eyes, wind force, pencil. So now, noise pencil, traffic noise pencil. Slip the pencil down to frequency noise And once you the words listen to the word frequency nice, कौन सी frequency nice है, यहीं पे आंसर लिख लीजिएगा, और अगर computerized है तो यहाँ पे क्लिक करके लिखिएगा आंसर. Question number 40. Trees require sunlight, water, and so pencil should be on the sunlight. And the sentence will be running with you. Okay. So I'm going to start the recording. Just get ready. I would be going question by question. और ये मिजाज सिर्फ पहले टेस्ट में करूंगा, question by question वाला. ये question by question वाला मिजाज सिर्फ पहले टेस्ट में करूंगा. उसके बाद जो है मैं दो questions के बाद रखूंगा. फिर मैं उसके बाद तीन questions के बाद रखूंगा. And inshallah you will become the expert of section. Okay, so just get ready. I'm going to start the recording. Get ready.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I have been asked today to talk to you about the urban landscape. There are two major areas that have a significant effect on.
Gee, have you listened to the word vegetation? That means this word is over. Now your pencil will be on planning hour.
Urban climate and how we can better plan our cities using trees to.
What is the answer? Where's
Cities.
our
cities.
cities better? What is the answer? Cities is the answer. Number one. So now put your pencil on impact of trees. Come on.
Provide a more comfortable environment for us to live in. Trees can have a significant impact on our cities.
Have you listened to the word impact? Yes. So bring your pencil down, cities more or less. Bring your pencil down to cities more.
They can make a city as a whole a bit less windy or a bit more windy if that's what you want.
Okay, so now they can make city more or less. What is the answer?
Windy.
Windy. W-I-N-D-Y, windy. The people who are sitting without their audio on, they should try to participate. माजिद साहब मैं आपसे मुखातिब हूँ, आपको समझ तो आ गई होगी ना?
जी सर.
So now
जी सर मैंने कहा.
bring your pencil, slip the pencil down to inland city.
They can make it a bit cooler if it's a hot summer day in an Australian city, or they can make it a bit more humid if it's a dry inland city.
Okay, so now inland city is more. What is the
Dry.
answer?
Dry.
Humid, not dry. Listen it
Dry.
again. It is humid, not dry. So listen it again. Listen it again.
And how we can better plan our cities using trees to provide a more comfortable environment for us to live in. Trees can have a significant impact on our cities. They can make a city as a whole a bit less windy or a bit more windy if that's what you want. They can make it a bit cooler if it's a hot summer day in an Australian city, or they can make it a bit more humid if it's a dry inland city.
Section 4 में मैंने बताया आपको सेंटेंस लेफ्ट से राइट चलता है, तो सेक्शन 4 में एग्जामिनर कभी राइट से लेफ्ट चला देता है. अपने कीवर्ड पे स्ट्रिक्ट रहें. एक दो वर्ड्स पहले या बाद में आपका आंसर होगा. अब उसने राइट साइड से चलाया है. इट कैन मेक मोर ह्यूमिड इफ इट इज अ ड्राई इनलैंड सिटी. सो वो राइट से लेफ्ट को जा रहा है. वो मोर बोला है, मोर ह्यूमिड बोल चुके हैं वो. देन उसने कहा है इनलैंड सिटी. सो काइंडली जरा कॉन्शियस रहिए. सेक्शन 4 है. इट इज नोन एज द टफेस्ट सेक्शन ऑफ एग्जाम. कम ऑन, have your pencil on impact of trees.
On the local scale, that is in particular areas within the city, trees can make the local area more shady.
What is the answer? Trees can make the local area more
Shady.
excellent.
Shady.
Bring your pencil down.
Shady.
Bring your pencil down to windy. My cursor is red on the word windy.
Cooler, more humid, and much less windy. In fact, trees and planting of various kinds can be used to make city streets actually less dangerous in particular.
What is the answer? They can make city street less
Dangerous.
Excellent. So if you are working on, इसको कहते हैं, हॉकी के मैच में कहते हैं, फुटबॉल के मैच में मैन टू मैन मार्किंग करना. In IELTS exam, section 4 is the toughest exam. If you tag the exam, mark the exam on word-to-word basis, believe me, this will be no problem at all. थोड़ा सा आपको active रहना है because examiner can work on left to right or right to left. बट अगर आपका कीवर्ड स्ट्रांग है ना और आपने मार्किंग उसकी ठीक की हुई है, एक दो वर्ड्स पहले या बाद में आपका आंसर छोड़ देगा एग्जामिनर. I'm sorry, I'm not there. So now temperature regulation. Pencil on temperature. Listen and bring the pencil down to evaporate water.
Areas. How do trees do all that, you ask? Well, the main difference between a tree and a building is a tree has got an internal mechanism to keep the temperature regulated. It evaporates water through its leaves.
What is the answer? It evaporates water through its
Leaves.
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 Excellent. Excellent. So through its leaves. So come on again. And so now wind force, and then bring the pencil on more wind. Eyes will be on the tall building. Listen the word tall building. Move the eyes on the pencil, and that will be on the more wind. Okay. You just get ready.
And that means that the temperature of the leaves is never very far from our own body temperature. The temperature of a building surface on a hot sunny day can easily be 20 degrees more than our temperature. Trees, on the other hand, remain cooler than buildings because they sweat. This means that they can humidify the air and cool it, a property which can be exploited to improve the local climate. Trees can also help break the force of winds. The reason that
Have you listened to the word force of winds? That means that you are exactly
Yes.
near to the keyword. So now tall buildings, eyes, and pencil will be on more wind.
trees can also help break the force of winds. The reason that high buildings make it windier at ground level.
Okay, so now tall buildings,
Ground.
more windier on
Ground.
ground
Ground level.
answer, ground level. Okay. So now come down, finger on trees and pencil will be on the wind force. If you are on the computer, wind force will be your mouse and the eyes will be on the trees. Come on.
Is that as the wind goes higher and higher, it goes faster and faster. When the wind hits the building, it has to go somewhere. Some of it goes over the top and some goes around the sides of the building, forcing those high-level winds down to ground level. That doesn't happen when you have trees. Trees filter the wind and...
What is the answer? Trees?
Filter.
Filter the wind.
Filter.
Okay, so now two-word answer is required. So there will be no THET. So now
Filter wind.
will be filter wind. Okay, so
Filter.
no T there. So it is filter wind. So now finger on the trees, the wind force. Okay, please filter the wind. So now go to the next one, noise. Okay, so now pencil should be on the traffic noise. And then when you listen to the word traffic noise, bring the pencil down to frequency noise. Why I'm tagging every line? Question है या नहीं है? मैं क्यों टैग करा रहा हूँ? Question है या नहीं है? मैं इसलिए टैग करा रहा हूँ ताकि आपको इस स्पेसिफिक टैगिंग से हर लाइन का कीवर्ड समझ में आए. जब आपके कंट्रोल में हर लाइन होगी तो आपसे अपना क्वेश्चन मिस नहीं होगा. अगर आप डायरेक्टली फ्रीक्वेंसी नॉइज पे खड़े होंगे, उसने फ्रीक्वेंसी नॉइज के लिए कोई सिंगल यूज कर दिया अगर, तो आपका क्वेश्चन स्लिप होने का चांस 90% ज्यादा है इन कंपैरिजन. जब आप ट्रैफिक नॉइज पे खड़े होंगे, बस ट्रैफिक नॉइज सुनते हैं एंड यू विल कम डाउन, तो यू विल बी 90% क्लियर दैट आई एम एट द आंसर आया क्या है. क्लियर? सो ऑलवेज वर्क ऑन एवरी लाइंस कीवर्ड ताकि आपको टेस्ट ओवर द लाइंस चलने का मौका दे अपने साथ. चलिए जी, ट्रैफिक नॉइज.
and considerably reduce it, preventing those very large, strong gusts that you so often find around tall buildings. Another problem in built-up areas is that traffic noise is intensified by tall buildings.
आप देखिए, आपने वर्ड सुनी है ना, ट्रैफिक नॉइज. इसका मतलब है यहाँ तक वो आ गया. तो स्लिप योर पेंसिल डाउन टू फ्रीक्वेंसी नॉइज. मतलब आपका आंसर आया ही आया अभी.
By planting a belt of trees at the side of the road, you can make things a little quieter, but much of the vehicle noise still goes through the trees. Trees can also help reduce the amount of noise in the surroundings, although the effect is not as large as people like to think. Low-frequency noise in particular.
What is the answer?
Low frequency.
Low frequency.
Low frequency.
Answer is low.
Low frequency.
Low. So
Low.
answer is low. Okay. So move ahead. Important points. Sort of have your pencil on sunlight, water. Okay. Pencil on sunlight and water.
Just goes through the trees as though they aren't there. Although trees can significantly improve the local climate, they do, however, take up a lot of space. There are root systems to consider, and branches blocking windows and so on. It may therefore be difficult to fit trees into the local landscape. There is not a great deal you can do if you have what we call a street canyon, a whole set of high-rises enclosed in a narrow street. Trees need water to grow. They also need some sunlight to grow.
कितना करीब आ गया वो? Water to grow, sunlight to grow, है ना?
And you need room to put them.
And you need room to book them. Room to book them.
Room.
Okay. So you need room to book them. Room to book them means room to grow. ROOM, room. Place. Okay. So what is the answer? Place. A room is the answer.
Room.
There are root systems to consider, and branches blocking windows and so on. It may therefore be difficult to fit trees into the local landscape. There is not a great deal you can do if you have what we call a street canyon, a whole set of high-rises enclosed in a narrow street. Trees need water to grow. They also need some sunlight to grow, and you need room to put them.
You need room to book them. Okay. ROOM, room is the answer. So now it was section 4. So now I'm going to the next section 4. You should have a more relaxed practice. I will tell the methodology, but I will stop after 2 answers. Okay. You should practice better. So now we are moving to section 4 of the next question. Next is test number 7, test number 8, and then it's about giving a quality speech. Giving a quality speech. So now 3-word answer is allowed. So giving a speech, reason of nervousness, pencil on nervousness. The lecturer feel more nervous if a speech is, okay, so more nervous speech is eyes, pencil. मैंने अब word finger pencil use करना कम कर दिया because we are going to attempt the computerized exam where we cannot put the pencil on the screen. Okay. So now, many think that ability to make a good public speak is ability to make eyes. Public speaking is mouse, okay, or the pencil. How to prepare the quality speech, okay? So now quality speech, the audience will only remember audience eyes, remember the mouse. Ensure that your speech, ensure, he can use the word make sure, remember. He can use the synonym, okay? Ensure eyes, your speech, mouse. Don't and do's of do's and don'ts of the public speaking. So do's and don'ts, your mouse or the pencil. Okay, don't start your speech until the audience is, don't start eyes and then audience is the mouse. You can make your main ideas on a note or a card or a mouse and main ideas eyes. You do not need to write down mouse, do not eyes. You can just write mouse. Okay. So now remember, it should be your eyes and yourself, mouse. Remember to space yourself to see that long your speech will be, how long your speech will be. Don't just mouse or don't just eyes, and script is the mouse or the pencil if it is a manual exam. So move ahead. I'm going to start the recording and just see that what happens. And I'm not stopping after the first one. No, I'm stopping after. I will stop after 2 answers. Alert रहिएगा. So 1 का ज़माना चला गया. Come on.
And answer questions 31 to 40. Good morning. Today I am going to cover the daunting task of giving a quality speech, a thought that makes most of us cringe. In fact, 90% of all people feel nervous about public speaking, about 10% of whom are described as genuinely terrified. Hopefully, when we are finished here today, you all will be in the 10% of the population who do not feel nervous at all. Did you know that lecturers tend to get more nervous if the speech they are giving is an important one? It makes sense, right? You probably wouldn't be nearly as nervous to address your residence hall about the proper use of the recycle and compost bins as you might be if you were asked to give the graduation speech to your entire 5,000 student class. So what is it that makes some people completely comfortable in front of crowds? Some people think that the ability to give a good speech is a gift, but others are simply...
So now, what is the first answer? A lecturer often feels more nervous if speech is important one. Is it or not?
Important.
Yes, sir.
Important one.
Yes.
Unmute your mics. It is in your favor. And then ability to make a public speech
Gift.
is
Gift.
a gift. Not only
Gift.
answer
Give.
a gift. Okay. So now, pencil on the quality speech. When you listen to it, pencil on remember the and eyes will be on the audience. Get ready. And then make sure eyes and your speech mouse. अभी आप manually कर रहे हैं तो pencil.
Be born with. This is almost never the case. Public speaking can be learned with practice. The first most important thing you can do to improve your confidence in delivering a speech is to prepare a quality speech. Honestly, while the content of your speech is relatively important, the audience will really only remember the last sentence you say. It is a good idea to structure the rest of your speech to lead up to this last point to really drive your message home. This is a good way to ensure that your speech is well organized.
Okay, so now, what is the answer? Audience
Last.
only remember
Last.
the last.
Last.
The answer is last. Ash. अब मुझे क्या पता आईडी का नाम पूरा क्या है तो मैं तो ऐश ही कहूंगा आप अनम्यूट करो माइक को व्हाट इज द आंसर व्हाट इज द आंसर अनम्यूट द माइक व्हाट इज द आंसर
Last.
अबे मैं लड़की से पूछ रहा हूँ मैं कि लड़की की आवाज तो क्या हो गया भाई जी हाँ लड़की बोलो मैं बोल भी चुका हूँ क्या उसके माइक में प्रॉब्लम है जी सिंपल व्हाट इज द आंसर last okay so now ensure that your speech is
Organized.
Well organized.
3 word answer
Well organized.
Well organized.
not organized well organized move ahead do's and don'ts of the public speaking so do not start eyes and audience is the mouse abhi karna hai to don't start pencil sorry finger and your audience is pencil main ideas finger on a card or pencil do not finger write down the pencil just write finger remember finger yourself pencil don't just finger step pencil okay I'm starting test is working
Once you are confident in the quality of the speech you have written, the rest is just about your stage presence. Let's go through some do's and don'ts of public speaking. First, you want to command the attention of the room. Do not, I repeat, do not proceed with your speech until the audience is paying attention. Even Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech wouldn't have made any difference in the world without the undivided attention of his audience. To continue with the I have a dream example, one of the reasons that MLK was such an effective orator was his ability to speak with passion and engage with his audience. That sort of charisma does not come from reading straight from paper. Don't get me wrong, it is a good idea to write your main ideas down on a note card, sheet of paper or something. But
Okay, so now what is the first answer? Don't start your speech until the audience is
Pay attention.
Paying attention.
paying attention. Excellent, my dear kids. And then main ideas on a card or
Paper.
a
Sheet of paper.
sheet
Sheet
of
of paper.
Excellent. Dr. Sama, you are with us, na? Sheet of paper. Dr. Sama, you are with me? You need to unmute the mic if you want to talk to me. Your mic is mute. आपके क्वेश्चन हो रहे हैं ना?
हाँ जी बिल्कुल.
Okay. So now do not finger. Write down pencil. Just write finger. Ideas pencil. Come on. Remember. अब मैं फिर 2 के बाद रुकूंगा. 37, 38. Get ready.
one that will consistently lead to a boring, forgettable speech is writing down your entire speech. Do not write your full speech down. If you are constantly reading your paper, you are not making eye contact with your audience, and thus failing to really express the feeling that goes with your ideas. I advise you write 1 or 2 ideas. So if you
Okay, so now do not write the
Full speech.
full speech.
Full speech.
Entire speech.
Ashir, excellent, yaar. We have got that. Majid, excellent, yaar. Okay, so now just write
1 or 2 ideas.
2
1
ideas.
or 2 ideas. So here, 1 digit 1 नहीं होगा. उसके ऊपर
Oh,
लिखा
anyone.
Yes, sir.
word answer. It is ONE1. OR
Yes.
TWO2. 1 or 2 ideas. Okay. याद है ना सर ने पहले दिन बताया था 1 से 20 तक अल्फाबेट्स याद कर लीजिएगा भाई. ठीक है जी. चले जी. So now remember finger. Use a pencil. Don't just finger and strip the pencil. I'm playing. Last 2 questions.
suddenly draw a blank, you have something to jog your memory. If you've written a good speech that you believe in, those ideas should be sufficient to keep you on track. Once you have those ideas written down, give your speech a few practice runs in front of the mirror, into your sound recorder on your phone, or with a friend before it comes time to address a crowd. That way, you can hear how the ideas come across, make sure there are no abrupt transitions, and find out whether you are talking too fast or too slow. Timing is important. Make sure you time yourself beforehand to see how long your speech is.
Okay, remember to means make sure. What is the answer?
Time yourself.
Time.
Time.
It is
Time
not
yourself.
Time.
that is, yes, remember to time yourself. Excellent. It is not the answer. I believe answer is remember to plan yourself. तो थोड़ा सा ढीला दिया मैंने आपको और आप लोग confuse हो गए. Stay strict, okay? Inshallah, you can do everything.
And you have something to jog your memory. If you've written a good speech that you believe in, those ideas should be sufficient to keep you on track. Once you have those ideas written down, give your speech a few practice runs in front of the mirror, into your sound recorder on your phone, or with a friend before it comes time to address a crowd. That way, you can hear how the ideas come across, make sure there are no abrupt transitions, and find out whether you are talking too fast or too slow. Timing is important. Make sure you time yourself beforehand to see how long your speech is. That is pretty much.
G, remember
Time.
to plan yourself.
Time yourself.
Plan your
Time yourself.
नहीं यार. दोबारा
Time yourself.
Or with a friend before it comes time to address a crowd. That way, you can hear how the ideas come across, make sure there are no abrupt transitions, and find out whether you are talking too fast or too slow. Timing is important. Make sure you time yourself beforehand to see how long.
You are absolutely right. It's time yourself.
Time.
Time.
Absolutely. Now go for the last question.
Your speech is. That is pretty much it. With practice, you'll be able to deliver an expert speech that engages and even maybe inspires your audience. Just remember, speak with emotion. No one wants to listen to someone reading from a script. As I come,
Don't
Reading.
just
Read.
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 Read
from a
or
script,
reading.
okay?
Read.
Reading.
A script भी ठीक है, read from a script भी ठीक है. Both answers are correct answer. Listen it again.
a few practice runs in front of the mirror, into your sound recorder on your phone, or with a friend before it comes time to address a crowd. That way, you can hear how the ideas come across, make sure there are no abrupt transitions, and find out whether you are talking too fast or too slow. Timing is important. Make sure you time yourself beforehand to see how long your speech is. That is pretty much it. With practice, you'll be able to deliver an expert speech that engages and even maybe inspires your audience. Just remember, speak with emotion. No one wants to listen to someone reading from a script.
Okay,
As I
reading
come
from
to
a
close
script.
in my speech, I'll
Reading from a script. Okay, so you can write just read. Sorry, don't just read a script.
Reading.
Don't just read from a script. Both answers are good. Okay, because up to three, one answer is allowed. Is it fine?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go for another section 4. It is test number 9. And test number 9 don't have section 4. Come on, test number 10. Come on, test number 10. And test number 10, section 4 is not a summary question. So come on, test number 11. Section number 4, test 11, and it is one of the toughest exams somebody can have. It's about a famous Gherkin building in the United Kingdom, in London, more common words. Kaise karna, I will tell you. But if somebody can do it independently, I'm here. Somebody accepts the challenge. अगर इसके 10 सवालों में से कोई 8 ठीक कर दे, तो मैं उसको 5,000 प्राइज दूंगा. आप में है कोई चैलेंज करने एक्सेप्ट करने वाला? आप सारे स्टूडेंट्स में अगर कोई चैलेंज एक्सेप्ट करता है कि इस टेस्ट 11 के सेक्शन 10 के सेक्शन 4 के 10 क्वेश्चन में से 8 ठीक कर लेगा, आई विल अनाउंस आई हैव अनाउंस द प्राइस ऑफ 5,000 मेरी तरफ से गिफ्ट है.
चलो.
है कोई चैलेंज एक्सेप्ट करने वाला? है कोई चैलेंज एक्सेप्ट करने वाला? कोई नहीं है. चलें जी, मैं खुद करूँगा.
प्ले करें सर, कर लेते हैं.
कौन है? कम ऑन. वन इज सजावल जमान. शाबाश.
प्ले करें सर.
ओनली वन. सजावल के कंपटीशन में आएगा कोई?
Yes.
पुराने से नहीं जाती. आशिर, you will do it.
Inshallah, sir.
इंशाल्लाह.
कर
Anybody?
लेते हैं सर.
कौन? इरफान की आवाज आई है. इरफान करना है?
सर करें प्ले.
मैं
कौन था तीसरा? तीसरी आवाज किसकी आई है? Who was it?
मेरी थी सर, माजिद.
माजिद. और इस वक्त कंपटीशन 3 में है. माजिद में और सजावल में और who is the third one? तीसरा कौन है? हाशिर मेरा. कमान जी, चला रहा हूँ जनाब. मैं हाईलाइटिंग करें जी, जल्दी करें. हाईलाइटिंग करें जी, मैं रिकॉर्डिंग प्ले कर रहा हूँ. शाबाश. Okay, I'm going to play the recording without the guidance. Okay, so the competition is on between my students. So let's see what happens. I will stop after one answer and you people will name out the answer. Okay, you people will in fact speak out the answers. Okay, just get ready. 8 correct answers and 5,000 is the price.
How will it be divided among us if we all answer the
I
same?
will give 15,000, I promise.
Okay.
Now, listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I'd like to tell you about how UK architects are playing their part to address the issue of global warming. You have seen many of these iconic buildings while going about your everyday life, but you may not know how they are affecting your tomorrow. In 2003, construction was completed on the famous Swiss rebuilding, or more informally called the Gherkin, a true masterpiece commissioned by the law offices of Foster and Partners. This is not the first ambitious endeavour of the firm. They are renowned for their various philanthropic environmental efforts. The gherkin, with its cut-and-edge green initiative and sharp design, is gaining recognition as an icon in modern architecture. You can pick it out of the London skyline by its unorthodox cigar shape. While its appearance is the obvious attribute,
Gee, what is the first answer?
Law.
By law.
Law,
Oh,
By law.
law officer,
Law offices.
Law
Law
firm.
law officer.
So what is the
No,
first
no,
answer?
law office.
Law.
W. LEW.
ऑफिस इसमें आएगा सर.
Sorry?
ऑफिस
offices.
ऑफिसेस आएगा सर इसमें. One
Law
word only.
commissioned by law.
जी नहीं जी Sajawal, you are out of competition then फिर, because it is commissioned by law offices. उसने replace कर दिया firms को office से. Answer is law.
Law.
LAW, law. Hashir, what is the answer?
Law.
law office.
Hashir, what is the answer of 32?
32 आपने बंद कर दिया सर.
32 का आंसर क्या है? It is missed by everybody. Missed by everybody. So I'm going to make the question by myself. So I'm going to work on the question by myself. Okay? कोई बात नहीं, खैर है, फिर सही, इंशाल्लाह कंपटीशन फिर करेंगे. So मैं
Also,
क्वेश्चन खुद कर. The answer was cigar. चलिए जी. Highlight Gherkin building. And then pencil will drop down to commissioned by. And then shape is like pencil. So reduces the carbon, reduces eyes and carbon, the pencil, and अगर computerized exam दे रहे हैं तो mouse होगा यहाँ पे. It let finger or the eyes pass through pencil. The both building and reducing heat in the cast. Architecture links, it is finger, workplace, pencil, relies less, finger, temperature control, pencil, atria, finger, fresh air, pencil. When you listen to the word atria, finger will be on the fresh air, pencil will be known as place of entertainment, finger, top of the building, top, pencil. Now, it is likely that entire pencil. Okay, get ready. I'm going to very good.
rebuilding, or more informally called the gherkin, a true masterpiece commissioned by the law offices of Foster and Part.
So, what is the first answer? Law office.
law office.
Law.
No. Finger on the shape now. Sorry, pencil on the shape now.
This is not the first ambitious endeavor of the firm. They are renowned for their various philanthropic environmental efforts. The gherkin, with its cut-and-edge green initiative and sharp design, is gaining recognition as an icon in modern architecture. You can pick it out of the London skyline by its unorthodox cigar shape.
Okay, so now this annual figure, the cigar shape. So its shape is like a cigar. CIGAR, cigar. वो जो पीते नहीं है सिगरेट की तरह.
Yes.
चलिए जी आगे. So reduces the carbon.
While its appearance is the obvious attribute at which to marvel, there is far more to this building than meets the eye. And let's face it, there's a lot about this building that meets the eye. The building helps reduce the city's carbon footprint in a number of ways.
So what is the answer? Reduces the carbon
Footprints.
footprint.
Footprint.
One word answer is required. So footprint is a single word. So move on. It let finger and pass through pencil.
Just a quick note, in case you're not familiar with the term carbon footprint, get used to it. It's a buzzword you'll hear relentlessly to talk about reducing emissions. Think of it as the amount of harmful greenhouse gases that are given off into the environment by a single person, organization, or product. So going back to the Gherkin building, perhaps the most obvious as well as the most significant eco-friendly feature is the glass windows, which allow light to pass through the building.
Okay, which allow the light, which let the light.
Light.
What is the answer? Light is
Light.
Dr. Saima, हो रहा है ना आपसे?
हाँ जी बिल्कुल जी.
Link finger, workplace pencil.
both reducing heating costs and brightening up the workspace. The ingenuity behind the various eco-friendly aspects of the gherkin has seen its fair share of publicity, both from serious and silly sources. In a recent April Fool's Day edition, one e-publication printed a story detailing plans to replace 50% of the current exterior with grass, which would not only make large steps in the name of sustainability, but also give the building the green hue that would truly earn it the nickname of the gherkin. The only drawback is, as you may have guessed, that this story was an April Fool's Day joke and completely made up. In all seriousness, though, the building is setting a new standard of design
Finger on the link. Workplace pencil. Don't lose the concentration.
that other architects and city planners just cannot ignore. The building's bold and cost-efficient design has won a number of architecture awards, including the Sterling Prize, the London Region Award, and the Emperor's Skyscraper Award, among others. The design comfortably accommodates a large number of offices, while keeping maintenance and operation costs down, striking a superb balance between nature and the workplace.
What is the answer? Balance between
Mention.
nature and the workplace. So links nature with nature.
Workplace.
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 No, not workplace.
No, no,
Mention,
nature.
mention.
Nature.
Links nature.
GG. Relies less. Finger. Pencil on the temperature control. Come on.
Nature is well and good, as long as the weather is nice outside. Given London's notoriously bad weather, the architects knew they must devise a quality temperature regulation system, and that they did. A special system designed to reduce the building's reliance on air conditioning was devised.
Okay, so now
Air conditioner.
Air conditioning.
lies less on the air conditioning. Excellent. So come on, next question. Atria. This will be a very tough question. The next question is even more tougher. So atria would be important to be listened.
That cuts consumption in half compared to standard office buildings. There are atria that link each floor.
But atria. So you have listened to the word atria. Fresh air finger now and known as pencil.
Vertically to one another, forming spiraling spaces of the entire building. They serve not just as social common spaces, but also act as the building's lungs, distributing.
Okay, also acts as building.
Building lungs.
What is
Lungs.
lungs is the answer. दोबारा सुनिएगा. Lungs is the answer. LUNGS, lungs.
Must devise a quality temperature regulation system, and that they did. A special system designed to reduce the building's reliance on air conditioning was devised that cuts consumption in half compared to standard office buildings. There are atria that link each floor vertically to one another, forming spiraling spaces of the entire building. They serve not just as social common spaces, but also act as the building's lungs.
What is the answer? Lungs. LUNGS, lungs. Okay. So now, place of entertainment. Finger. The top pencil. Okay. If you are in computerized exam, the top mouse. Place of entertainment. Finger. टॉप को कभी भी वो रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता जी, याद रखिएगा, मगर वो एंटरटेनमेंट को फन के वर्ड के साथ रिप्लेस कर सकता है. जरा अलर्ट रहिएगा.
Distributing clean air from the opening panels in the facade through the entire building. The building isn't all business though. It has its fair share of fun as well.
It has a fair share of fun as well. So if fun has started now, इसका मतलब ये है कि बात शुरू होगी भी है. Entertainment and top को जरा grip कीजिएगा.
At the very top.
At the very top. Top गुजर गया, इसका मतलब है right side is over now. Now he is going to tell you something. What is on the top? Which is at the top? That is the answer.
A club room offers a picturesque entertainment spot.
What is the answer?
Club room.
Excellent. Club room. Club is the answer. दोबारा सुनिएगा जी.
The building's reliance on air conditioning was devised that cuts consumption in half compared to standard office buildings. There are atrium that link each floor vertically to one another, forming spiraling spaces of the entire building. They serve not just as social common spaces, but also act as the building's lungs, distributing clean air from the opening panels in the facade through the entire building. The building isn't all business though. It has its fair share of fun as well. At the very top, a club room offers a picturesque entertainment spot for company functions, private parties, etc.
Okay, so now at the very top, there is a club room. It acts as a very picturesque place, है ना? तो अब मामला ये है कि club room, one word answer is required. Room को आएगा नहीं. Club is the. So now आखिरी question को answer कीजिए.
With a breathtaking panoramic view of the city, the creation of such an innovative structure has many wondering what the future of urban planning and architecture may be. Well, if the other projects currently commissioned by Foster and Partners are any indication, the entire city constructed with similarly equal.
What is the answer?
City.
City
City.
is the answer. Excellent, my dear kids. So now we are going for a test, okay? Get ready. I'm going to start a test in next 2 minutes. आपका test number. Get ready. I'm going to play the recording for the next test, section 4. And it is a test. I will not stop the recording for 1 minute even. After the test, you will transfer your answers on the answer sheet of question number. सारे जितने भी अभी तक किए सेक्शन 4 सबके आंसर्स ट्रांसफर करेंगे और सिर्फ एक शीट मुझे भिजवाएंगे ग्रुप में. And that sheet will be section 4 of this specific test जो आप खराब कर. Test number 12 I believe. इसकी सिर्फ मुझे रिकॉर्डिंग भिजवाएं. इसका मुझे आंसर शीट भिजवा के मैं देखूं आपने कैसा किया. Okay? So I'm going to start the recording. Test is in progress. Come on.
Listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Today, I'm going to talk about the eucalyptus tree. This is a very common tree here in Australia, where it's also sometimes called the gum tree. First, I'm going to talk about why it's important. Then I'm going to describe some problems it faces at present. Right, well, the eucalyptus tree is an important tree for lots of reasons. For example, it gives shelter to creatures like birds and bats. And these and other species also depend on it for food, particularly the nectar from its flowers. So it supports biodiversity. It's useful to us humans too,
Yes, sir.
because we can kill germs with a disinfectant made from oil extracted from eucalyptus leaves. Eucalyptus grows all over Australia, and the trees can live for up to 400 years. So it's alarming that all across the country, numbers of eucalyptus are falling because the trees are dying off prematurely. So what are the reasons for this? One possible reason is disease. As far back as the 1970s, the trees started getting a disease called Mundula yellows. The tree's leaves would gradually turn yellow, then the tree would die. It wasn't until 2004 that they found the cause of the problem was lime, or calcium hydroxide, to give it its proper chemical name, which was being used in the construction of roads. The lime was being washed away into the ground and affecting the roots of the eucalyptus trees nearby. What it was doing was preventing the trees from sucking up the iron they needed for healthy growth. When this was injected back into the affected trees, they immediately recovered. But this problem only affected a relatively small number of trees. By 2000, huge numbers of eucalyptus were dying along Australia's east coast of a disease known as bell miner-associated dieback. The bell miner is a bird, and the disease seems to be common where there are high populations of bell miners. Again, it's the leaves of the trees that are affected. What happens is that insects settle on the leaves and eat their way round them, destroying them as they go, and at the same time, they secrete a solution which has sugar in it. The bell miner birds really like this solution, and in order to get as much as possible, they keep away other creatures that might try to get it. So these birds and insects flourish at the expense of other species, and eventually so much damage is done to the leaves that the tree dies. But experts say that trees can start looking sick before any sign of bell miner associated dieback. So it looks as if the problem might have another explanation. One possibility is that it's to do with the huge bushfires that we have in Australia. A theory proposed over 40 years ago by ecologist William Jackson is that the frequency of bushfires in a particular region affects the type of vegetation that grows there. If there are very frequent bushfires in a region, this encourages grass to grow afterwards, while if the bushfires are rather less frequent, this results in the growth of eucalyptus forests. So why is this? Why do fairly frequent bushfires actually support the growth of eucalyptus? Well, one reason is that the fire stops the growth of other species which would consume water needed by eucalyptus trees. And there's another reason. If these other quick-growing species of bushes and plants are allowed to proliferate, they harm the eucalyptus in another way by affecting the composition of the soil and removing nutrients from it. So some bushfires are actually essential for the eucalyptus to survive as long as they are not too frequent. In fact, there's evidence that Australia's Indigenous people practiced regular burning of bushland for thousands of years before the arrival of the Europeans. But since Europeans arrived on the continent, the number of bushfires has been strictly controlled. Now, scientists believe that this reduced frequency of bushfires to low levels has led to what's known as dry rainforest, which seems an odd name as usually we associate tropical rainforest with wet conditions. And what's special about this type of rainforest? Well, unlike tropical rainforest, which is a rich ecosystem, this type of ecosystem is usually a simple one. It has very thick, dense vegetation, but not much variety of species. The vegetation provides lots of shade, so one species that does find it ideal is the bell miner bird, which builds its nests in the undergrowth there. But again, that's not helpful for the eucalyptus tree. 1 minute.
करें जी आंसर्स को ट्रांसफर करें अपनी आंसर शीट्स पर and send answers to me, and I see that what you learned out of these 4 consecutive sessions. Inshallah. I'm very optimistic that you people would have enjoyed these 4 consecutive sessions.